Please don't break my back!
No.
Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1045. Directed by Yuji Tokuno and supervised by Shigefumi Shingaki. As the newest addition to the One Piece anime lineup of directors, Yuji Tokuno is a freelance young director who most may know from his work on Fire Force Season 1, but he's apparently quite the fan of the One Piece anime at least, and that's how we end up here today. And while there's only so much that we can see of his work in the preview due to what was chosen, his board overall looks fairly nice and seems to be backed up by some surprising names on the animation side of things, for moments that nobody expected all that much from. For content like this, I don't know 100% what to expect, especially considering next episode, along with the fact that Tokuno is only really just settling into the series. But how will his debut on the One Piece anime go overall, and what will it prepare us for regarding his future work on it? Let's get right back into it and find out. This episode covers the majority of Chapter 1022, and despite cutting it off at its most important moments, which you'd think wouldn't work, it actually ends up being a huge plus for the content in my opinion, allowing the real sense of despair within the situation to breathe in order to really help sell you on how dire the battle on the live floor itself is, which is only heightened further by the inclusion of added Sanji action that shows his yearn to try and stop both King and Queen, with there being a fair bit more filler where that came from as well, whether it be as small and simple as showing adult Momo a bit early, or extending Law and Kid versus Big Mom to make more of a point of Hawkins' powers, all giving greater context to the unfortunate situations at hand and just giving us a peek at what's yet to come in this behemoth and a half of the arc. Chapters like this always tend to work best in the anime due to the many different scattered locales and people throughout that you can cover a bit more efficiently. And the exclusion of the final moments of the chapter once again I think helps build tension to when we eventually see them happen next episode, especially when I'm sure they're going to be extended in their own right as well. Like, wow, for what is essentially their debut on the series as an episode director, Tokuno knocks it out of the fucking park and then some, bringing one of the most unique boards to the series that, despite housing so many of the same traits that we usually see in the anime now, like the consistent lens flares and the like, just feels very individual in terms of its attention to detail when it comes to lighting, colors, and compositing, with great, and I mean great, compositions that only help to build such an insanely wonderful atmosphere for any bit of content at hand, and leads most scenes, even the most dialogue heavy of them, to never come off as dull in the slightest. Especially so when we're in the heat of the action itself down on the live floor, that has such a dynamic and punchy air to it that perfectly uses the abilities of the characters and the scale of the arena itself to its advantage full on. Orange colors and all, you can really just get a good idea of Tokuno's expertise and experience in the industry with his work here. And that really does do wonders for the tense and biting nature of this content at hand, producing an overall gorgeous board that I just can't get enough of and allowing the animators under it some time to play as well. With a short but sweet Raizo action scene from our favorite French animator Vincent Chansard that is always plays to his insanely 3D-like animation, and of course otherworldly sense of how to make an action scene kinetic no matter the context, as he uses the space around him so well, and Masami Mori himself coming back to the anime proper for the first time since 1015 to deliver an insanely beefy section of cuts with both Sanji vs King and Queen and later Perospero and Neko, that as always just shows off how insanely good he is at what he does with such extreme finesse in both character movement and action that is simply unparalleled on the series, even next to his friend and inspiration adaptation for this episode, Akihiro Ota, giving 1045 that last real push to be an all-in-all damn great debut. I was expecting something pretty solid to begin with, but Tokuno exceeded my expectations effortlessly, and really brought something unique but familiar to the table that made me appreciate this content that was already going to fare better on screen a whole lot more. And I couldn't be happier with it being the episode to end this titanically strong year for the One Piece anime off, as next week we have yet another recap episode followed by a New Year's break after, which ends things off on a pretty high note and gets us ready for the exciting stuff that 2023 will no doubt have in store. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and that's definitely the Luffy ever.